Hi and welcome to the IIF studio, where I'm joined today by Patrick Griffin, who is Head of Business Development for Ripple Labs. So Patrick, I wanted to ask you, Ripple Labs, you've developed Ripple, the technology. Can you explain to us what that is?
Sure. So the Ripple technology is an open source protocol that is designed to facilitate the settlement of currency payments in actually any currency or any asset class for that matter in real time and at no cost. So as a protocol, this is just a little bit distinct from a payment system. Payment systems are very deliberate in terms of what they do. A protocol is just simply a piece of software. And in this case, this piece of software is designed to transfer assets, reconcile obligations, and really it's, at the end of the day, just a ledger.
But it's a ledger that operates in real time at no cost?
Correct. So what makes it real time, what makes it no cost, is that this is a ledger that is run by no central operator. It's run by computers all over the world. Servers, computers, financial institutions typically run them. And as a consequence, there is no central entity that is responsible for maintaining the system. So there is no central point of weakness.
But there's also no central point of control.
That's correct.
So what does that mean for the financial system?
So what that means, and this is a great question, I mean, what that means is that while it is an open source technology, I think critically from a financial services perspective, it is maybe better to think about it as open architecture. Mm-hmm. And what that means, and the distinction is that we expect financial institutions and payment networks, governments and regulators to design closed systems on top of the open protocol. So that's the distinction between a payment system and a protocol, is that this is not designed to be an end-to-end catch-all payment system with rule sets and payment standards and messaging. It's very, very simply a basic layer of a payment system, just the ledger and the settlement component. So on top of that, we can construct all sorts of different closed systems and construct payment systems on top of the protocol.
And you're expecting people to do that? Who are you expecting to do that?
We expect financial institutions to do that, particularly on the wholesale side. We look at this technology as having its most profound applications for interbank settlement, clearinghouse settlement, using the technology to facilitate transfer of assets between, frankly, just different asset custodians. And so we really expect this to be something where legacy systems, legacy networks can migrate their existing infrastructure and capabilities right on top of the protocol.
But so if it's a ledger and you're transferring assets, isn't that the same thing as the blockchain technology?
So the blockchain technology it has a lot of similarities with blockchain technology. Specifically, the blockchain technology is a database design. It is a design, a system for a specific type of protocol. I think that most commonly it was first started with Bitcoin as the first Bitcoin, as the first blockchain protocol, and then has since proliferated into other protocols which have adopted that design. The reality is all the blockchain does is it confirms transactions and it proves historical value and where value has been. So what Ripple is a little bit different, similar concept, but the difference is that it is simply a ledger, just a spreadsheet, a snapshot in time. To confirm with Ripple, you do not need to confirm the entirety of the history of every transaction that ever was. That's the blockchain. With Ripple, you just need to look at the snapshot in time, understand what the changes will be to that snapshot, and then build a new ledger and then have everybody switch to that. So that's the distinction between a ledger and a blockchain. A ledger is historical. A ledger is a snapshot in time. And certainly with Ripple, you can walk the ledger and go back in time to any point in any past ledger. But to confirm a transaction, critically, you don't need to confirm every transaction that ever was, which ultimately enables faster reconciliation and faster settlement. Blockchain works on roughly 10-minute intervals, which typically play out over hour blocks of time. Ripple works in 2 to 5 second basis. So it's just something that operates in seconds as opposed to minutes or hours.
So the transfer of assets with Ripple may be more suitable for payment transfers. With blockchain, do you think it's for different types of assets?
Well, I think that this is one of the other distinctions between the two designs. Blockchain technologies are single-purpose databases. They can only confirm transactions in one asset class or one denomination. Ripple is a general purpose database. It's just simply a spreadsheet. Anything can go in it, and we can denominate it in just about anything. So airline miles, loyalty points, G10 currencies, gold, stock certificates, options, derivatives, anything of value can go inside of the Ripple ledger, which is very different than the way the blockchain technologies are designed and what they really, frankly, can enable.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have talked a lot about Internet for Value. Well, what does that mean?
Sure. So the Internet for Value really is a concept that's come up out of this whole space. It's the idea that we can design financial systems that operate in a decentralized way. So when we look at the financial system at large today, it is run in a balkanized methodology. There are different systems running by different operators in different countries, and there is no coherent standard to unify all of the payment systems for settlement. Now, certainly there are standards for messaging and rules and compliance, but there is no global ledger on top of which we can build an entirely new infrastructure. I think the idea of what we mean by the Internet of Money is that anything of value can be made liquid to any other thing of value in real time, cross payment systems on anywhere in the planet. So ultimately, in our vision, we would like to be able to see anybody in one network transmit value to any other network, cross asset in real time as easily as sending an email.
Wow. So you see this as a positive development for?
We see this as tremendously positive, and not just positive certainly for us as the creators of the system, but I mean for the incumbent infrastructure as well. The incumbent players, the asset custodians that are running the system today, the clearinghouses and governments and central banks that rely on these systems. We think that this is a capability that can further their mandates and enhance their capabilities.
Do they think that too?
By and large, yes. We have typically, I mean, this is a big challenge in what we're doing, and I think that what they think when they look at this technology, their first reaction is to assess it against the blockchain. It's a little bit of a different technology. So once you understand that it's simply an accounting system that has these added features of market making and liquidity provisioning, that in turn, I think, opens up a whole new world of possibilities that are frankly very exciting for everybody, including regulators and enforcement who see a lot of potential in transactions moving across a coherent unified ledger, as opposed to trying to track down payments that are moving across multiple ledgers, which becomes very opaque.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you to Patrick Griffin of Ripple Labs.
Thank you.